Buenos dias from Greenway Parks. This is the Rorschach Argentina update from the 23rd of January, 2025. A quick summary of what's going down in Argentina. The year has just begun, but the government is off to the races trying to embrace a dual currency system. On Friday the 17th, the Economy Ministry introduced a resolution allowing businesses to display prices in U.S. dollars using an exchange rate they choose. This new rule replaces a 2002 regulation that required foreign currency-based prices to be lower than their peso equivalent. Additionally, the central bank has announced that, starting on the 28th of February, local debit cards will soon enable payments in either dollars or pesos, without converting through the peso first. This dual currency payment system, set to include QR codes but exclude credit cards, aims to streamline transactions for account holders. Experts believe this move won't lead to widespread pricing changes right away, though industries like travel and electronics will likely switch first. Looking ahead, analysts are making bets on Argentina's economy in 2025. After 2 years of recession, the World Bank predicts a 5% GDP growth in 2025 and 4.7% in 2026. While the global outlook remains flat and Latin America is forecasted to grow by 2.5%, Argentina stands out. However, risks like fiscal instability and persistent core inflation could challenge these predictions. Similarly, a report from Latin Focus Economics suggests the gap between the official and parallel exchange rates will narrow, with the official rate reaching 1,350 pesos per dollar and the parallel rate at 1,330 by year end. Turning to deregulation, the government introduced reforms on Monday the 20th to make it simpler to import and export food. Officials say these changes will lower domestic food prices while boosting Argentina's global exports. The new decree eliminates many headaches for producers, including requirements to register products, facilities, and packaging. Importers will skip additional compliance steps if the product already meets strict international health standards. The exporters will only need certificates if their destination country demands them. Speaking of trade, in 2024, Argentina achieved its highest ever trade surplus of $18.8 billion, bouncing back from a $6.9 billion deficit the year before. This turnaround was fueled by a recovery in agricultural exports, which had been hit hard by a drought in 2023, and a peso devaluation under President Milei. Exports grew by nearly 20%, led by primary products and agricultural goods, while imports plummeted due to the recession and Milei's fiscal policies. On the diplomatic stage, Milei attended Donald Trump's inauguration on Monday the 20th. Their shared ideological alignment has sparked speculation about how U.S.-Argentina relations might evolve under their overlapping terms. Trump praised Milei's policies, even citing Argentina's deregulation efforts as inspiration for his own administration's new Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk. Meanwhile, Milei used the visit to strengthen ties, attending high-profile events and meeting with officials from the International Monetary Fund about a potential new financial program for Argentina. Despite their camaraderie, tensions could arise from Trump's protectionist trade agenda, which clashes with Milei's libertarian focus on deregulation. During Milei's U.S. trip, he also met with Marco Rubio, the incoming U.S. Secretary of State. Though official details were sparse, the meeting signaled alignment on shared opposition to authoritarian regimes in Latin America. The Washington Post had some things to say about Trump's praise for Milei. The outlet published a piece titled, "In Milei's Argentina, Trump sees a roadmap. What does it show?" which explores how Milei's economic reforms have drawn admiration from Trump and his team. The article explains that while Milei's free market ideas resonate with Trump's rhetoric, their economic realities differ significantly, and there are critical differences in their approaches to issues like trade and government spending. To read the article, follow the link in the show notes. Back in Argentina, the first major heat wave of 2025 caused widespread power outages, hitting cities like Rosario in southern Santa Fe and parts of Buenos Aires, exposing the strain on the national energy grid. Local officials struggled to contain the fallout as key transformers failed, and a fire in a cable tunnel worsened the already dire situation, leaving thousands without electricity or water. While demand has been lower than predicted, temperatures nearing 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit are pushing the system's limits. The Energy Secretariat has promised a faster recovery process and has leaned on imported electricity to stabilize the grid. Yet, energy experts remain critical, pointing out that distribution bottlenecks, not generation capacity, represent the grid's biggest weakness. The heat wave also created challenges for farmers. Dry weather continues to impact key agricultural zones, and while some areas within the key agricultural zone saw limited rainfall, it was irregular and insufficient to significantly improve the situation. Farmers are already seeing reduced yield potential due to the ongoing drought. Meteorologists predict that the end of January and early February may bring more widespread rainfall, potentially offering relief for crops, but the overall outlook remains uncertain. While farmers grapple with reduced crop yields, consumers face changing diets. In 2024, beef consumption dropped to a historic low, with Argentines eating an average of 48 kilos of beef per person. This marks the lowest beef consumption in 28 years. In 2023, the average was 53 kilos, which was already low. Meanwhile, chicken consumption grew to 50 kilos per person in 2024, overtaking beef for the first time ever. Analysts say the recession has forced households to prioritize cheaper protein options, contributing to this shift in eating habits. On a business front, the Milei administration has announced its privatization of a state-owned company, with the government and Mendoza provincial authorities selling their 85% stake in metallurgic firm IMSA to the U.S. company Arc Energy. IMSA, which produces equipment for various industries, had been struggling financially, and the Mendoza government took over in 2021 to prevent its collapse. Arc Energy's bid includes a $27 million capital injection and a commitment to refinance IMSA's $576 million debt. In retail news, the French sports brand Decathlon is making its comeback to Argentina after a 20-year absence. Decathlon plans to open 20 stores across major cities in 2026, with the first two set to open in December 2025. The company previously operated in Argentina until it closed its store in the San Isidro neighborhood in the province of Buenos Aires during the 2001-2002 economic downturn. On that note about sports, on Friday the 17th, the Argentine duo Nicolás Cavagliasso and Valentina Pertegrini clinched victory in the challenger class of the 2025 Dakar Rally, driving a Taurus T3 Max. This marks their first title together and the second for Cavagliasso, who previously won in the quads category in 2019. The pair, both hailing from the Córdoba province, dominated the early stages of the race, building a commanding lead despite facing strong competition. Their triumph adds to the country's impressive Dakar legacy, both now totaling 11 titles across various categories. Football fans may have received good news too. Well, kind of. After scoring for Inter Miami in a preseason match against Club America, Superstar Lionel Messi expressed optimism about staying in shape and performing well under Javier Mascherano, the team's new coach. While he emphasized focusing on his current fitness and busy season ahead, fans read his words as a hint at a possible 2026 World Cup appearance. Sadly, Rufino Lauhe, 15-year-old rising star in Argentine polo, tragically died in a highway accident near Trenquelauquen in the Buenos Aires province while traveling with his brother. The car they were in collided with a parked truck on a highway shoulder. While the brother sustained a hand injury and is expected to recover, Rufino lost his life just as they were preparing to compete in Florida's prestigious Palm Beach International Polo season. Before we go, The Guardian published an article titled, "Off Your High Horse, Argentina's New Sport of E-Wheel Polo in Pictures," which showcases the rising popularity of Roda polo among Argentine youth. This modern adaptation of traditional polo replaces horses with electric unicycles, offering a dynamic and accessible alternative. Link in the show notes. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. We've heard from some of you that you'd love to subscribe but don't want to spend money. Well, great news. Subscribing to the Rorschach Argentina update is absolutely free. That's right. Whether you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, or YouTube, hitting that subscribe button won't cost you a thing. Subscribing is one of the best ways you can help us grow and continue bringing you the updates you love. So go ahead and subscribe. If you need any help, feel free to reach out to our team at info@rorschach.com. Nos vemos la próxima semana.